knowing whose DNA that was. Because in the only way that you could excuse yourself, which prosecution, I don't know if y'all remember, but prosecution said it very clear in court that the only reason why they didn't follow through with the DNAs on the Maddie's fingernails DNA was because they already had an assertion of from where and who that DNA came from. They exposed themselves in court. In other words, they knew whose DNA was. And that's why they didn't do no IgG to it like they did Kohberger's, because they already know whose DNA that was. Because again, if it's truth, the Jack DeCourt, Jake, John Jack Showalker, and all these other people that we've been talking about, they needed to get Loach, Hunter, all the boys that hang out in that house, all DNA that you would have found out in there. You would have to brought up a lot of students from the University of Idaho that you don't want to investigate on. The whole point of this case, it was detaching the University of Idaho of this case. That was the whole point. Playing with evidence. Murphy was evidence. I don't care what no one said. Murphy was evidence. He needed to be taken to a forensic laboratory and make sure to take samples or whatever DNA, blood, if that was the case or whatnot. Because obviously, if they say the door was open, a puppy is not going to stay in that room. Obviously, they say they saw, and it's in the footage, that Maddie's door was open. So if Kaylee's door was open, Maddie's door was open, do you think that puppy wouldn't go inside of it? Don't you think that puppy wouldn't be all over that crime scene? Dylan knew that, Bethany knew that, Hunter, they all knew it was a dog in there. Why allegedly they turn the heater all the way up and keep the doors open? Not just because the stench, because when you accelerate, the body decay, it will make the forensic study harder. I want to repeat to people, don't forget that by the time those bodies came out that house, it was around 15 to 16 hours. Those bodies were stiff already. The longer you take to report a crime, the more leverage you give in the criminal. The longest that you get to investigate the victims in a forensic way to find out what happened to them, the more leverage the criminal has. How come they call what they found at Jack DeCourt's apartment, instead of they calling it blood, they said that they seen red liquid with the black light. Obviously, it's blood, that red liquid. But why you don't want to call it blood? Do you took samples of it? Whose blood was that? Jack DeCourt's or a mixture of Jack DeCourse, Kiely, Maddie, Ethan, Santa. Remember, they left through the back door, right? And I say they. They left through the back door, right? Y'all remember when I told you that the only thing that they needed to do was go around the fence to get to Jack DeCour's apartment? That's why no car was needed in this crime. They only needed to get out the back door, the back sliding door, and literally walk straight around the fence. Either if they want to walk up the hill and then back down, but don't make no sense. You just needed to just walk literally straight around the fence to get to Jack DeCour's house. It was footsteps that was going right out. I seen the pictures. I see the video. I do my homework. It was footsteps that were going straight where I told y'all they were going. Those footsteps tracked all the way to Jack DeCour's house, Jack DeCour's apartment. I saw the pictures. I saw the pictures of the blood on the steps. Blood on the steps at the side of the house. You know, it's the door to the right that it goes around the back. Those steps that goes around up to the back, sliding door, uphill. And those steps, it was blood. I saw the pictures that it was blood on those side steps that was going back up. Right around the same place that they found the glove with blood in it. What we're not talking about that. What we're not talking about the DNA that it was on those steps outside the house. Did they tested it? Did they find out whose DNA that was? Bloody footprint? Whose blood was that? Did y'all tested it? Let me hurry. Let me speed up with the comments real quick. Let me slow down myself a little bit. Amy Conway said her first testimony. Yes, she saw perps. No, in my opinion, they know her. And they are like, yes. You see, Amy, I agree with that. Because remember, the only way that you are going to lie and misrepresent what happened that night is if you know the killers. That's if you are one of the killers yourself. You're gonna flip-flop. You're gonna make it sound like to take yourself away from the equation. Your testimony is gonna be separating yourself from the whole issue. It don't matter what you say. No one knows the truth but you. If you are involved, you're gonna say what you gotta say to keep yourself away from the loophole. But then when you purposely lie, when you purposely misguide the investigation, and the investigators are already on your side, because in the same way we heard that officer after he was talking to Dylan outside, the officer told Dylan, "You're okay. Just tell everybody else that will come and talk to you the same thing you told me, and you're gonna be fine." So the officer is giving Dylan Mortensen the okay of like, that's exactly what you gotta say to keep yourself away from trouble. We'll do the rest. Good job. When the officer, the detective, whoever